Hi, this is Phil DeBella, and if you don't know already, in 2022 May, I'll be putting the dancing shoes on with my daughter Annika for Dancing CEOs Queensland. She can dance and I can't, but the journey's going to be fun. And we're doing it all for a great cause. So Dancing CEOs has been around for a long time here in Brisbane. It's an amazing organisation and charity event. They raised over $500,000 this year, and I look forward to it in 2022. If you can give $5, $500, $5,000, whatever you can would be great to support a great cause. It goes to Women's Legal Services Queensland, who make sure that women and children that are affected by domestic violence are looked after. So a great cause, 100% tax deducted, no admin fees, which is something that we love about it. 100% of your donation goes to helping those that need it. So support Annika, support myself, and support Dancing CEOs. The link is provided below. Please give what you can. Today we have a rerun of one of our most downloaded episodes and popular episodes. I hope you enjoy it and share it with other people that may not have heard it as yet.
This is FlashCast by PDB, and today we're talking about brand, and questions have come in from listeners saying, I've got a business, but I don't know if I've got a brand. Well, let me just say, if you've got a business, you've got a brand. Might not be strong, might not be prevalent, might not be a brand-led organization, but you've definitely got a brand. Brand is obviously an identity. The very basic form of a brand is an identity, business name, logo, colors, whatever. So the short answer, you do have a brand, but obviously great companies and organizations that are heading into that great status really focus on brand and creating strong brand. And if you just think about things you buy, whether it's around the house, everyday items, luxury items, you'll find that you're emotionally connected to that brand, and that's why you buy it. And that's the key to brand. Let's say from the onset is emotional engagement. The best brands provide this emotional engagement so powerful that it makes you choose them versus anybody else. You've got to remember that branding is so much more than just a cool logo or advertising. That's not only what brand is. It's not a logo and cool advertising. A brand is something that defines the perception of a customer of your business. So brand is how somebody talks about your business. And the same goes for personal brand or business brand. It's what they say about you when you leave the room. It's what are people saying? What is their overall perception when you're there? What do they really think about you when you're not there? And in today's market, brand is reputation. Right? Brand is all about reputation. Personal brand, business brand. I'm going to keep saying this. It doesn't change. Your business needs to have a strong brand reputation. And to do that, to have a successful brand, then you need to be across all different things like environment, which is your storefront, your office, your buildings. What does it look like? Your signage. It has to be across your print collateral, your packaging. It has to be across your website, your online advertising. It has to be about all the content that you publish. And it has to be about your people. It has to be about your salespeople, your service people, your people that are providing customer service, building products, packing orders, delivering orders. Brand is across the whole organization, top and tail. And those organizations that do things well or that are market leaders are really, really strong in understanding brand. They understand that they need to build a brand. They know that they need to build awareness about the business, that it's not just about creating strategy. It's not just about, sitting down and saying, what are we going to do? How are we going to service our customers? Of course, that's important, but it's going to be brand led. And when we talk about brand, well, brand can be broken into three stages. It's brand strategy, a brand identity, and then brand marketing. And brand strategy is where you map out all the different things about you. How you're going to be different, how you're going to be trustworthy, how you're going to be memorable, why are people going to like you. That's what your strategy is. Your strategy is your blueprint for how you want people to see your business. So your brand strategy is all about positioning yourself on how you want people to see your business. Your brand identity is how you're going to send this message to people. Your brand identity is all in your messaging, your experience, your touch points. How are people going to actually then create that memorable experience through your identity? So making sure that your brand identity is across all channels and it's consistent. So across social media, print media, all that sort of stuff within the organization, the way your people talk, right? And then you move on. Brand marketing is all about the way the business and organization highlights and brings awareness to its products or services by connecting its values and its voice. So you've got to make sure that the marketing is all about telling a story so compelling that people choose you. So brand marketing is telling that story about your brand that makes people want to choose you. And this is the glue that sticks it all together. So three parts to brand: brand strategy, brand identity, and brand marketing. And you need to really have those areas defined and mapped out. And this will then flow down to build the business. So some tips on how to build the brand that people love. Well, number one is understand your purpose. Understand what the purpose of your brand. When I built DeBella, it was about helping cafe owners make money. The brand of DeBella for the consumer was all about the ultimate coffee experience. This is stuff that's really, really important for you to understand, and go about. Asking questions. Why do I exist? What differentiates me? What problem do I solve? Why should people care? This is so important by discovering your purpose and really key and integral in what you're doing. The three things that I talk about with the Simon Sinek, the why, the how, the what, is really helps you identify the purpose of your brand and really is a strong tip in building your brand. Understanding your why, your how, and your what. Asking yourself those questions: why I exist, what differentiates you, what problem am I going to solve, why should people care? Start piecing those questions together and you will start to have your brand flow on to what you do. The other thing is research your competitor brands. You need to know your industry. Now, I didn't focus on the other coffee brands in my industry. I didn't talk about them because it promotes them, but I knew what they were doing. I knew what they stood for. I knew what market they played in, what their purpose was. You need to know your competitors. You need to research and understand, because this will help you understand how you're going to differentiate. You need to know how you will differentiate from the market. If you're simply doing the same thing of what they are doing, then you're going to fail. The next thing is to understand your audience. You need to understand your audience and you need to target that audience with the message that you want. So once you know your audience, you need to target that audience to create that emotional engagement. I see so many people sending the wrong message to the wrong audience. And again, this does not create good brand. Strong brand is the right message to the right audience. In order to understand the age, the gender, the location, the income, their education, you have to understand their motivation, you have to understand their goals, their pain points. These are all the things about people. You need to know people. You need to know the audience so you can define the right message to the right audience to create that emotional engagement. You need to make sure that you're very conscious of staying true to your brand. Remember that your brand values are core to this. You can't go outside your brand values. The brand value of DeBella was to deal with cafe owners, so we weren't in supermarket stores. As tempting and lucrative as it could have been, we stayed true to our brand. We were a specialty coffee company delivering amazing service to cafe owners, so we stayed within those parameters. You need to stay within the brand parameters of what you do. You need to make sure that you're telling a story. I see so many brands out there that just don't tell the story. They're doing great things, but they're too shy or they don't want to be out there. That's bullshit. You need to be out there. It might not be you pay someone else to do it. But if you're not telling your story, nobody knows about you. You've got to be vocal. You've got to be loud. You've got to do it within the values of what you're doing, but you need to tell your story. So there's some of the tips that we talk about and some of the things I wanted to cover off. And people ask, I've got a business, but do I have a brand? I hope that's been helpful. I know it's a lot to decipher. Listen to this one many times. Pen and paper never lies. Write those questions down. Write down those three things we talked about in what brand is about, and understand that it's all about emotional engagement. If you're not creating emotional engagement, then you can't create a brand. And if you have a business, you automatically have a brand. So a lot to cover there. I know I spoke quite quickly, but I needed to get a lot of the information out. Brand is all about the identity. What are people saying about you personally or about your business when you leave the room? Understand what I've just covered is no different to personal or professional brand. It's no different to business or personal. You've been listening to Phil DeBella, and this is FlashCast by PDB. Keep those questions coming in those topics, and I'll do my best to answer them. Until next time, go be the best you can be.